It's our monthly podcast with Debbie Moose in Raleigh, food writer, cookbook author. Debbie, hey, how are you?
We're good over here. We're good. Hope y'all doing okay over there.
We are over here. All is good, and a good time of the year for all of those good things from the garden. And today, what's the topic today? Watermelon, is that right?
Yes, we could talk about all sorts of wonderful things, but I have seen the light, brothers and sisters, and I am a convert to a watermelon lover. I mean, I liked it okay. You know, I wasn't as crazy about it. My husband adores it. He'll go through, watermelon a day if he left alone. But I never was crazy about it. You know, I preferred to have a good cantaloupe. You know, I still like a good cantaloupe, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of how hot it's been, or we've gotten some really good ones. But I have developed a real taste for watermelon.
Well, good for you. And there are two things there: the temperature, how hot it is, and just it's so refreshing, and so that's good. And I've never been a big watermelon person either, but recently it seems to be a lot better to me. If you get a good watermelon, it's really good. Yeah,
it just hits the spot.
It does.
It hits some spots. My parents used to say it hits the spot. And especially, I've become more of a fan since they developed the little watermelons, the ones they call personal size watermelons, about the size of a soccer ball or something. Because those big ones, you couldn't fit them in the refrigerator, and for just the two of us. The big one is like that. It's just ridiculous for two people. You only got them if you were having a big party. 4th of July party, you get a big watermelon. Or when I was in college, tales of my misspent youth, we would get one and inject it with vodka.
Okay.
Yeah. But since they came up with the small ones, that has just reopened the whole potential for watermelon in my house, because it's a small amount, it's not huge, and they're good. The varieties seem to be getting more and more tasty. And also, I've always thought watermelon was just, it tastes good, but what can possibly be in there? But apparently, there's actually a lot of nutrients in there, and it is very hydrating. The New York Times had an article the other week about all the nutrients and everything in watermelon, and it is hydrating. They said eating about 10 ounces, a wedge or so, is like drinking a full cup of water.
Yeah.
And when you have a spouse like mine who never wants to drink water, that's good.
It is. So he's getting it that way. And you're right. I remember as a kid, you get those big watermelons, and the refrigerators were a lot smaller back then too, growing up.
Yeah.
So that was always an issue. You had to have some gathering or a reunion or something going on. Yeah. So whoever came up with those little ones, smaller ones, that was a great idea.
Well, what you did back in the day, if you were having a picnic, was you got like a bucket of ice or cold water or something, and just put the watermelon in out in the yard. But I mean, and you can buy in the grocery store, you can buy the already cut wedges, but those are going to dry up on you. They're not going to taste very good.
Right.
But those little ones, I don't know who invented those, or came up with that variety, but I hope they're making a lot of money. They should be. And watermelon actually has not as much sugar as you might think. It tastes sweet, but it's apparently not as sweet overall as, say, blueberries, an equal amount of blueberries, from sugar content, if you're concerned about that. And let's see, what else did this say? It does have a lot of actual nutrients in it. Now, the thing about watermelon is, unlike strawberries and peaches and all those other wonderful things, you can't really preserve it. Now you can make the watermelon rind pickles. Did you ever have any of those growing up?
Oh my goodness! Now you're talking about lip smacking. Oh, now I want some of those right now. I got to go find those. Yeah, those are so good.
You can do that with it.
Yeah.
But as far as the watermelon itself, you can't make that. I mean, now you can make. I have made watermelon jelly.
Mm-hmm.
You basically take the watermelon and turn it into liquid and then make the jelly from that.
Okay.
And that's quite good. But as preserving it itself, you really can't. So you pretty much have to just eat it as you get it.
That's right. Yeah.
And have you ever seen the yellow watermelon?
I have. Yes. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's kind of like we bought some tomatoes from a market yesterday, and Annette wanted the what are those purple ones?
Yeah.
Which I don't like. So I got mine. She got hers. But yeah, no, I want a watermelon like a watermelon should be. Yeah,
pink.
Pink. Yeah, just like red. A nice red would be even better. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah.
Well, I bought one of the yellow ones once.
What?
Because for some reason, I wanted to try it. For some reason, they had the smaller size in the yellow one, so I thought I'll try it. It tasted fine, but it was the visual. It was looking at it. If I closed my eyes and ate it, it tasted fine. But then if I opened my eyes and looked, it's yellow.
Mm-hmm. That's just not right.
Your brain is so used to the red.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of a brain shock. But if I closed my eyes, it tasted really good.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the watermelons now are seedless, so you don't get to have that seed spitting contest.
No, yeah, I miss those too. Gosh.
How'd you ever do in those? Were you pretty good at that?
No, I don't think I was ever in one, but that was a big deal way back, though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, we had them out in the yard. You had to do something with all those seeds.
Yeah, and if we did, I don't remember. That's so far back. But, it's good to have no seeds, I guess, unless you, like me and other people, they can't do the seed spitting contest anymore. That's good July 4th competition there, I imagine.
Now, because the watermelon is so, has so much sweetness, a lot of people, restaurants are using it in salads with salty things, like the classic combination has become feta cheese and watermelon.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you have that salty from the feta and that sweetness from the watermelon, and you have a little contrast with the white and the red, unless you use yellow, which you do if you want to on that. And that is a really great combination.
Mm-hmm.
That sweet and salty. I mean, well, it's like peanuts in a Coca-Cola. We all love it.
Sure, that's right. Yeah.
And you can use it for salads that way, and throw some red onion in there. I believe in Vivian Howard's cookbook, she's got a recipe for it, and I can't remember the technique now, but she does something to press the watermelon to get some of the liquid out, so it's more, the cubes are more firm before putting them in there. Which is helpful. You don't have so much laying around, and I think there's either a parsley or cilantro, and that's a super easy little salad. And of course, a lot of people use it in gazpacho instead of the tomatoes or along with the tomatoes.
So it's a versatile thing, the watermelon.
Yeah, you can use it for other things too, besides just eating it straight. But I've become a fan of watermelon. I was always like, I'd much rather. Well, I'd still rather have a peach if I had a choice. But it's sometimes I would just soon have it as a cantaloupe.
Yeah,
which was always my favorite of the melon family.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is. I do think maybe it's been the heat, which let's not talk about.
No
can't
heat.
do anything about it.
No heat conversation.
But I would like to give just give a little thought to the farmers who are trying to keep growing all these wonderful vegetables through all this heat and this drought, and give a thought for them.
Yeah, it's hard. We have a peach orchard. I mentioned it before. We were there yesterday. We made the rounds, and it's been difficult peach growing season here. Yeah. So
so far so good here, but I bet it's going to be a short one.
Yeah, probably will be. Yeah. Have you ever grown any watermelons?
Have you ever grown watermelon?
Yeah. Have you?
No,
Okay.
I don't have that much room.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I think my father. No, he would grow cantaloupes. He didn't grow watermelons because I think my mother wasn't that crazy about them. I mean, the thing to do when I was growing up was you got a watermelon on the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And you ate it in the backyard with your picnic and your neighbors coming over, and the kids run around and spit seeds at each other. And then that was about it for watermelon. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was a 4th of July fun food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet you could also make probably some really good popsicles out of watermelon. Juice it.
Yeah. And that's probably been done.
You can buy those plastic things that you can make your own popsicles out of.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, I may try that today. We got some watermelon, and it's there's a drive-through, one of the fast food places here. They're all over. I will not give them a plug here, but apparently they do have some wonderful milkshakes and some seasonal things. Watermelon is one of the favorites this time of the year. Watermelon milkshakes.
That's a hard idea for me because I would be afraid it would be too sweet. Now, a watermelon popsicle or sorbet, of course, is a natural for making sorbet.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't need to add that much sugar to it. But the watermelon with some feta cheese, I'm kind of thinking about that now. Mm-hmm. That would be very refreshing. But I have now become a convert, and I need to, besides the heat, figure out why. I had some the other day. I was out of cantaloupe, and there was some of my husband's watermelon. I thought, well, darn, this is good. I'm going to start eating this.
Yeah.
I might have to buy 2 of those little ones a week instead of 1 now.
Sure. Yeah, one for you and one for Rob. Mm-hmm.
Although there are no seeds to spit.
No. Mm-mm. But interesting how that's changed, too, isn't it, over the years?
Well, people didn't want them.
Yeah. Seeds got a bad rap.
The spitting skills of this generation have gone rapidly downhill.
I know.
Mine are very rusty. I probably wouldn't do very well.
Yeah, but you're right. It's going to be a lost art before you know it. That's a shame.
So, if anyone who's concerned, which we all should be concerned about, the farmers in this weather and climate change,
yeah,
the best thing you can do is patronize them, go out and get some of those wonderful locally grown watermelons or peaches or corn. Probably going to be a short season on that, too.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to find up here.
Or anything else out there, and give them some support, give them some love, because they're facing. We're complaining about the heat. They're facing a hard time.
They really are. Yeah. So buy local produce. Get those fruits and vegetables right here, wherever you are, and support those local markets. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, now.
Oh, and one other fun fact that I bet you didn't know about watermelon. Mm-hmm. North Carolina is the 5th largest watermelon producer in the country.
I didn't know that. No. Oh, wow. In the top 5 then, number 5.
So
that's good.
There you are. There's your fun fact of the day.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Now I'm just still craving watermelon rind pickles. So I think I may know a little place that possibly has that, and I'll be in that area for a meeting later today. So I think I'll go there first. Debbie, always good to talk to you. Thank you.
Well, so good to talk to you, and have a good one, and take care.
Yep, you too, and enjoy those good things from the garden with our local farmers, and have some watermelon today. It's good for you. Thank you, Debbie.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Debbie Moose in Raleigh. Debbie is a cookbook author. She's written a number of books, and you'll find her right there at debbiemoose.com to see what she's up to.